We'll start off. My name is Preeti Mehta, and I am an angel practitioner and a spiritual counselor. So I deal with angels, I deal with goddesses, I have workshops on them, and I have people who consult me on the spiritual path in discovering their life purpose, their soul purpose, how to go about in this particular lifetime. I'm not very old to this profession because I am an ex-banker. I have 10 years of experience in banking, and it was such a divine intervention which made me come into this field, and totally something which was very different than what I used to do. But it was an intervention when the angels, I really work very closely with them, and the goddesses, they made me choose this path. And today it's like my passion has become my profession, and I am not working a single day. I'm enjoying every single moment of it. Okay, so that was about me. Before I start pardon? Yes, I have quitted. I have happily quitted, I would say, and enjoying every moment of my new profession. So before we start, I'd like you guys to introduce yourself. Tell me about your background and what has made you come over here. What are your expectations in this particular talk? It's not a workshop, it's just a short talk. But nevertheless, I would like to know what is it that you're expecting. With you, sir.
I'm interested in knowing about intuition.
Okay, developing your intuitive powers. Okay.
Because many times it gets clouded.
Yeah, I will take that. I will take the intuitive powers, which are the psychic senses, right? I will cover that. Yes? Yes, sir?
My name is Kishore Dikyan. You say divine.
Yes.
And goddess intuitive talk, it sounds interesting.
Okay.
Because we have been born with divinity, we believe in divinity.
Absolutely.
And very often when something good happens in life, we believe is divine intervention.
Okay.
So to understand why it happens and how it happens.
Okay. Okay. You, sir? Could be a little louder? Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Asha.
Okay.
I'm just passing by, so I was attracted to what was
It happens a lot of times. People just pass by and people end up being at those places where they're supposed to be. Nothing is accidental, everything is pre-planned. It's always like that. It is always like that. We never plan for things to happen, but we end up being at the right place at the right time.
With the right thing.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, ma'am, I have seen you before. You were very familiar. I don't know, I've seen you before. Okay.
My name is Kusum.
Okay.
And as you said, some years back I had a chance to join a class, sort of group,
Okay.
where we do all this goddess practice, all this psychic practice,
Okay.
tarot reading,
Okay.
whatever readings and all that. So we feel.
Okay.
Then from there we got the chance to join Tai Chi.
Okay.
Our sir teaches us Tai Chi for some years.
Okay.
So some days back we had a workshop here for Tai Chi.
Okay.
And from last Saturday we have started classes here every Thursday and every Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
So last Saturday when I came here, I read your this thing. So I am very, very interested.
Okay.
And it is very interesting to know, I didn't know, you didn't mention it. Now some Navratri is going on. Today is the 4th day of the Navratri for goddess.
Navratri.
We have 4 Navratris in a year. We don't
Yeah, we don't follow. Usually we follow the March and this thing, right?
This is what I learned in my class. So this Saturday, Navratri has started. Today is the 4th day. Kushmanda, she created the universe. Yes.
Absolutely.
And there we got all these Navratris, means what are these 9 babies they need, if you pay to them. I've got the notes also, but they don't allow you to bring the bag up, so I just kept it down. So it is very interesting. It's each day we pray for Navratri goddess, okay, we understand. But here she has made it very, very interesting for us to read that this thing. Each day you pray to different ones. 9 days.
Right.
And you give me permission, I'm going to say she has taken up the very nice
Okay.
mantra mala.
Okay,
Then
okay.
she has covered all these different mantras on
Okay.
different gods, goddesses, everything.
Who is this lady who's done this?
She's Rohini Gupta Mantraman. You
Okay.
get a stand at
Oh, okay,
concession.
okay,
It's a
okay.
very book, informative, very simple book. It's very, no, it's a big book. Something 300 plus. No, this is Mantramala. She
Okay.
has this thing covered many distinct things in that. So there she has given all the gods, goddesses, everything, why, what are the mantras.
Right,
what are-
right.
Everything she has done in a very simplified way. Mantramala she has made it by Rohini Gupta. You can understand.
Okay, okay.
So that is what when I read and this thing, that was the first day of this thing, Navratri, Saturday,
Okay.
I said I will this thing come in.
Okay.
It is as to say I'm here at the right time. Wow.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. What about you? Okay. 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 And what about you?
I had the time criteria.
You had?
The time.
You had the time, so you came here. That's you're a very lucky person. You have time. A lot of people don't have time these days to indulge in do things what they want to do in. So you are very abundant in that sense.
Sometimes you realize that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, sir.
I remember I read somewhere in the tsunami, nature actually gives the expressions in or intuition to animals, birds.
Animals are very intuitive. Okay, when we talk about intuition, it's something that this is a sixth sense. When we say we talk about our psychic powers, animals are the creatures or the beings who are the most intuitive beings because they do not have something that we call the ego mind. What we have is the conscious mind, right? Because anytime we feel any intervention of the divine power, we try to rationalize it, right? It's not possible. Something happened, it must be a coincidence. So every time something happens, your subconscious mind, your connection with the divine tries to download things to you. You edit, delete. That's what you do. Right? Animals don't have that. So they are, and similarly children. Now that we are on the topic of psychic powers, children don't have any preconceived notions. Children don't think that, to see a spirit or to see a divine being is something which is not acceptable in today's world. Okay? If some people start seeing it, people are termed as mad. People think that, it's something which is not in a way which normal things are accepted. So children are the beings who, you have animals, they can see and feel it. Okay. Just wanted to know, India is a country where the feminine power has always been there. Okay, so the ancient times and the times that we were there. So it's always that we have always upheld that thing, we have kept it on, and still for us, our goddesses, our femininity that is there, that is very revered, that is something that we totally believe in. I see a lot of males out here. I mean, it's a goddess talk. So what are males doing here? I just want to know that first of all. Curiosity. Okay.
But we worship our goddesses.
Yes, you do. But it's like I'm trying to invoke the femininity within. Do you believe that the males also have feminine power? The purpose behind the talk is to touch base with your inner feminine power. Absolutely. So when we say that divine feminine power, getting in touch with your inner goddess, it is not only meant for women, it is also meant for males. Because, I don't know if you know, but every embryo which is there in a mother's womb, okay, initially it starts out as a female embryo. It is a scientific fact. Till it develops its own genitals, it is a female embryo. Right? You yourself are born out of a woman. You have the DNA, the cells of a woman. So obviously you have the feminine power within you. Right? So even when we say, like he talked about Shiv Parvati, that is the best example that we can give in today's context. It's like Shiv Shakti. Shiv is there, the Shakti. So they complement each other. It's like a one circle and there are two halves of the same circle. So if with them together, the world goes, the universe goes on. So for us to understand what is this power, how can we tap it and use it for our benefit in our lives. Okay, have you guys, since we are on the part of on the topic of the male power, feminine power gelling together, how many of you guys know about something called twin flames? Twin flames.
Is it same as yin and yang?
No, it's not same as yin and yang. Do you know who's a twin flame? We've talked about Shiv and Parvati, okay? Shiv Shakti, yes, that's Shiv. What is a twin flame? Because this is something which is coming up very much. I have people coming and asking me about it, and it is very much connected to the topic. I think you have some idea. Yes, ma'am. I'd like to know what you think about it.
You tell me.
No, I want to know what you think. I will eventually, of course, tell you. I'm standing this side, so I have to tell you. You first, please. You have some idea. I can sense that. I'm very intuitive and I'm a psychic, so I know what people think also.
I'm very sensitive, very intuitive. As I said, over the years, with that practice, I have become. And you say to sense, I sense what you tell me.
See, it's like you have said there is Shiv and there is Shakti. Okay, they are part two halves of a circle. Okay. Similarly, when the universe was created, right? When the creation happened by the Creator, and there was one single soul. Okay, and this soul was then divided into two souls. Okay, one male and one female. Okay. So when that's when people say, I have met my soulmate. You know, I want to spend my life with my soulmate. But then the concept of twin flame and a soulmate is very different. Twin flame is only one. Soulmates can be more than one. Twin flame is the other half of your soul. One is a male, other is a female. Okay, and both have the characteristics. It's like looking at your own mirror image, because there's one soul divided into two. That is the concept of twin flame. And yes, Shiv and Parvati were twin flames. Okay, there was a one power which was segregated into two. And that's why they always, it's said when people, the tantrics, they do sadhanas, they first invoke Mahakali, then they invoke Mahakal. Why? Because to reach Mahakal, they have to first invoke Mahakali. Right? So, twin flames usually don't incarnate together. It's when they are like for a specific spiritual purpose, or it's when it is their last life on the earth. That's when the twin flames come together. But that's the reason why I'm explaining about twin flames, is to show you that there is a power which has a female as well as a male characteristic. Radha Krishna were twin flames. They were twin flames. It's a one soul divided into two, and soulmates are very more. Today, somebody you are married to may be your soulmate, because that person has come to you. Soulmate is a person who has incarnated with you as a soul, because on the other side, after you die and you go to the home or the other side, there are soul groups. Okay, it is important to understand the concept of soul groups. There are different soul groups. And within these soul groups, of course, like you are sitting together here in a class, then you are classmates. So in those soul groups, when you are together, you are soulmates. Right? So your soulmate may be with you. You may have so many soulmates. The soulmate, typically as it is believed, may not be a romantic relationship. Okay? It could be your brother, it could be your mother, it could be your friend. That person can also be a soulmate, but twin flame will always be one. And not necessary that every life you will meet that person.
You mean flame, F-L-A-M-E.
F-L-A-M-E. Together, twin flame. It's a mirror image of yourself. One is masculine, other is feminine. Okay? So now, of course, the curiosity about all these things is increasing, because as we are approaching Ascension and we are approaching 2012, I'll briefly touch upon that also as we go forward in this. But yes, now let's talk about prehistorical era. I want to know, do you think goddesses were worshipped? Look at India. India has always been a place where goddesses have been worshipped, have been respected. What about the other parts of the world? World history. Were goddesses important? Were goddesses significant at that point in time? Yeah? Where, which parts of the world? Any idea?
Yes,